Hey guys, Agent of Doubt here. Still recuperating with my broken leg, and just laying here in bed, going down memory lane with my laptop, and decided to tell a story to you all because I came across something on my Google Docs that was just fascinating to see again. So, about 2 years ago, InventorGorilla passed away. He was very beloved here on YouTube in the great debate community. He was one of the Christians that was willing to talk with anyone about his beliefs. And he got into a lot of discussions with a lot of people. So, when he passed away, a lot of people made tributes to him, and few people even attended his funeral in person. And you can see here on YouTube we got Chemo Embryo, Kazoom, Robert Wallace, and this is a part of the story I'm telling today. We've got Muskoka Man, myself, and this guy Brian Davis Jr. You know, a lot of people had some very sad feelings when he passed away. So, me and InventorGorilla, we had some back channels that we used to talk on, and he trusted me with some strange things. And there was a give and take involved with this, and we had a private clique of people that were passing information back and forth regarding mostly debates, but also certain strange things that happened on the internet. And one of them was our interactions with a cult called A Mighty Wind. And there were a few people here on YouTube that were part of that cult. They would pronounce the name of their Messiah Yahushua. They were all young earth creationists, and they felt that their prophet was Elizabeth Elijah Nicomia, who could get prophecies from God, you know, coming to her, and then she would pass it out to them. And it was a strange cult, and they were making YouTube videos with horrible, horrible music. It was cringy. It was really cringy. And they were able to recruit people all over the world with their YouTube presence. And it was strange. But they would get pwned by YouTube atheists and Christians alike, and they would put out a whole bunch of copyright claims on people's stuff to try to flag stuff down, especially whenever their seal, it was a special picture that they would put up in the beginning of their videos in order to ward off evil. If anyone used their seal, they would get really upset. But at a certain point, InventorGorilla confided in me that he wanted to actually infiltrate the Mighty Wind cult. And this was, you know, a lofty ambition, you know, but he felt like he could possibly save somebody from the experience of that cult. Now, he was coming at it from a believer's standpoint, that he was cleaning up the Christian religion as a Christian from the inside, taking care of his own. For the duration of his life that I knew him, Christian was never completely an atheist. He always had some at least deistic belief in a God. He just was not okay with people being duped by this cult and being sucked in and then being spit out of the cult and ostracized, as some of them were, and the horrible feelings that they had when that happened, when they just messed up a little bit by talking online with the YouTube atheists. So InventorGorilla wanted to do some table talk with somebody outside of our normal clique of people who were sharing information back and forth. And this other person was Hatred42 at the time. He now goes by Robert Wallace, right? And he wanted to let him in on the gag that he was not actually going to be a real member of a Mighty Wind. He was just going to try to infiltrate them long enough to make some ties and possibly get some people out of the cult. So InventorGorilla on Google Docs shared with me a draft of a letter that he wanted to send to Robert Wallace. And this was back in 2011, right? And I'm going to read the letter to you guys. It says, "Hey Bob, so I guess what you've been trying to express to me, so I guess I see what you've been trying to express to me for a while. This cult is what I needed to see to fully understand the atheist movement. I am not a young earth creationist. I do believe in evolution. InventorGorilla, ... Does that make sense now? I do believe in God. I do believe in Jesus. That being said, I want to let you know that I plan on trying to invade this cult. I plan on trying to become a member and take it down from within. This may take months. Please keep an eye on me. I ask that you share this plan with other atheists and trusted atheists and ask them to keep this a private matter. I am coming to you because I trust your judgment and critical thinking skills. I know this is probably not a good idea, but I have to try to pull as many people out of this cult as I can. Not because of religious reasons, but because it's the right thing to do. I'm in a position to attempt this endeavor, and I feel it is my responsibility as a human being to try and free and expose as many of these programmed human beings as I can. I understand programming very well, and I'm very careful about what I accept as facts. I know we can't have the best past. I understand your perspective. Oh, sorry, he said, I know we don't have the best past. I understand your perspective and position with me and my views in the past. This is why I'm telling you this plan. I know I can count on you to be sane, logical, and ruthless." Okay. Let me just scroll down a bit. Just a sec. I gotta scroll. Okay. We'll just leave it right there. I may have already blown my chance at getting accepted into this cult, but I'm hoping they can forgive a single comment with question as to their doctrine and biblical standing. If I can get accepted, I will let you know and keep you updated and make a list of all the members and try to track this cult. I plan on taking this all the way to local and national television if I can. This is no joke to me. This is very serious. I'm afraid for the lives of people and their children. Children mostly. The innocent children have the most to lose. I hope you and yours are well. Christian Neal. And the bottom of it actually had his docs, but since he passed away, and also his grandmother passed away before that, none of those docs are actually valid because, dead people's phone numbers get given to new people, and the address isn't valid. So none of the docs are at risk at all. But just reading that again, I'm like, wow. Part of it is cringy to a certain extent, but it really shows like how far we've come in our discourse on YouTube, that things like that seem so distant now. I mean, sure, we have cults that pop up from time to time, but each one gets addressed, and then we move on from it. And I know the history of things, in that InventorGorilla actually wasn't that successful with that cult, because they're very picky about who they take in, and he was actually too intelligent for them. But he was actually very instrumental in bringing a couple of people out of certain beliefs that are, kind of throwbacks and harmful to the progress of science. So he did well, I feel, in his life, in his hobby time here on YouTube, at representing what Christianity could be if people just shed all of that nonsense like young earth creationism and whatnot. It doesn't have to be like a cult. Most people who are Christians aren't in a cult, but there are some much maligned and very infamous people here on YouTube that get a lot of airtime from the atheists, when really that's not what most people experience in their communities. It's just a really nice walk down memory lane